All right, so today I wanted to talk about permutations. Now, permutations are going to be arrangements of objects in which the order matters. So the definition of a permutation is the order of a set. It's going to always involve some sort of order. So a permutation is an arrangement of objects, generally from a set, in which order matters, in which the order matters. So if you ever see a math problem where they talk about a series of objects in which the order does matter, then that's going to be a permutation. Now, to find a permutation, what you need to do is you need to figure out the total number, which is going to be n. N is going to be the total number of objects. That's what n is going to be. And r, or k, which is sometimes used, is going to be the number of objects chosen. The number of chosen objects, which is different from n. And in general, the total number is going to be greater than or equal to the number of chosen objects. So once you know what n is and what r is, we can put it into the permutation formula. So here is a quick formula that we're going to go over. I like to call this the permutation formula. And it's going to be n permutation r is equal to n factorial on the top of the fraction, and it's going to be divided by n minus r factorial on the bottom of the fraction. So using this formula, I want to do a really quick example of how the formula can be used to solve some permutation questions. Okay, so the first one that I want to do is I want to use the permutation formula to find the value of 4p2. So we're going to find the value of 4 permutation 2. So when we're given 4p2, we have to figure out what the total number is. And that's going to be this 4 right here. That's going to be my n number. And then the number of chosen objects is going to be my r value. That's going to be 2. So I'm going to use these two numbers to put inside of the formula. So the formula was n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. Now in the problem, n is equal to 4. So I'm going to have 4 factorial on the top of the fraction. And on the bottom of the fraction, I'm going to have n minus r. We know that n is equal to 4, so I'm going to put a 4 right there. And I'm going to subtract r, which in this case is going to be this 2 right here. And then I'm going to close it up and then put down the factorial. So the top is still going to be 4 factorial. But then the bottom, I have an expression that's inside the parentheses. We know that 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. So I'm going to have 2 factorial on the bottom. So what's the value of 4 factorial? That's going to be 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And then in the denominator, since I have 2 factorial, that's just going to be 2 times 1. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel out common factors on the top and the bottom. The 2's I can cancel out, and the 1's I can cancel out. So then I'm just left with 4 times 3 at the top, and that's going to be 12. So the value of 4 permutation 2 is going to be 12. Now, one of the ways that you can think about this is you have 4 objects in total, 4 objects in total, and you want to choose 2 objects. That's what the 2 is for. That's your choosing number. So out of 4 objects in total, let's say they are A, B, C, and D. I want to find how many ways I can choose 2 objects from this list. And there's going to be 12 ways that I can do it. So can we list out all 12? Well, we need to choose 2 objects from this list. Let's say we choose A and B. And then we can choose A and C. And then we can choose A and D. So those are the groups where A comes first. And then we can choose 2 objects where B comes first. So BC and BD. Those will go together. And then another combination that I can choose would be C and D. Now what I can do is I can switch the order around so that I can find the last 6 combinations. So if I switch the order around for this one, I'm going to get BA. If I switch the order around for AC, I'm going to get CA. And if I switch the order around for AD, I'm going to get DA. For the last 3, I'm going to get CB, DB, and DC. So now, how many permutations or combinations do I have? I have 12 in total, 6 on the left side and 6 on the right side. And those are going to add up to give me 12 different permutations. So I hope this video has been helpful. When you consider permutations, what you really want to do is you want to consider a situation where order does matter. Because in a permutation, order does matter. And you want to know what your total number is, and you want to know what your choosing number is. And then once you have that, you can put it in the permutation formula.